Welcome to Wisconsin Public Television and Wisconsin Public Radio's coverage of the 2012 State of the State Address, live from the Wisconsin State Capitol in Madison. In a few moments, Governor Scott Walker will make his way into the Assembly chambers. He will address the full legislature, the Supreme Court, and his cabinet.
Tonight, we come together to discuss the state of our state. To do so, we need to remember where we were as a state prior to a year ago, what we've accomplished over the past year, and most importantly, where we are headed in the year to come. When I addressed you in this chamber last January, Wisconsin had suffered through 3 years of 150,000 of our fellow citizens losing their jobs. The unemployment rate was 7.5%, and after years of tax increases and budget tricks, Wisconsin faced one of the largest budget deficits in the country. Now our unemployment rate is down from a year ago. In fact, it's the lowest it's been since 2008. To eliminate it. To that end, I'm announcing the Waste, Fraud, and Abuse Elimination Task Force, charged with the responsibility to follow through on that report. Because I respect the hardworking people of Wisconsin, I will continue to be a good steward of the taxpayers' dollar. Before I was governor, a young woman was named the Outstanding Initial Educator by the Wisconsin Council of Teachers of English. Not long after she received the award, she was laid off. Why? Well, under the old collective bargaining system, she was one of the first to be laid off because she was one of the last ones to be hired. It didn't matter that she was one of the best teachers in the state. To correct problems like that, our reforms now allow local school districts to staff based on merit and pay based on performance. Third grade to fourth grade. You see, from kindergarten through third grade, students spend the bulk of their time learning to read. But by fourth grade, our kids must be equipped with proficient reading skills so they're no longer learning to read, but reading to learn. That's why I was pleased to join with State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Evers, to put together a Read to Lead task force, which was a diverse group of educators, reading specialists, parents, and others from across the state to create a plan for improving the reading skills of our students. In addition to thanking Dr. Evers, I also want to commend Senator Luther Olson, Representative Steve Costell, and Representative Jason Fields, as well as each of the other task force members for working together on Read to Lead. Closing, let me leave you with one final thought. Years ago, when I had the honor of serving the good people of Wauwatosa in this chamber, I learned a valuable lesson. Don't personalize your differences. Over the years, I passed that on to many others with the simple reminder that your opponent today may be your ally tomorrow. The people I've met traveling the state over the past year seem to reflect that simple concept of respect for their fellow citizen. Respect for their fellow citizen. Sure, there are plenty of people with plenty of different opinions on politics, on business, on religion, on sports, on just about anything in the state. But what I've found in most parts, at least in most parts of the state, is a sense of respect. Most of the people I've met in this state care not only for their family and friends, but for the well-being of their neighbors and of their fellow citizens. That's the spirit of Wisconsin. I've seen it in the faces of the volunteers who show up to help after tornadoes in places like Merrill or La Crosse or Marinette. And I've always seen it in the faces of our men and women in uniform, like those we met earlier tonight from the 724th. Moving forward, I believe that spirit of Wisconsin will help us improve the state of our economy, the state of our budget, the state of our schools, and most importantly, I believe the spirit of Wisconsin will help us all improve the lives of each and every citizen in our great state. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to get our state working again. Now is the time to move Wisconsin forward.
So that concludes Governor Scott Walker's State of the State address this year, and it was unusual, I would say, given that there were 4 disruptions by protesters who were in the gallery. This was a gallery that was somewhat tightly restricted from past years. They were on a list from Capitol Police, invitees only. There were, I think, just 12 seats, and yet apparently 4 of them were occupied by people who decided to disrupt Governor Scott Walker's remarks.